Today I'm building a Roman workbench. This is mostly for Alex and for other kids to be using, and of course for myself. The first thing I have to do here is build the top, and I'm building this out of two 4x6 posts here. And you can see me planing the top here so that I can glue the two pieces together with a nice tight glue joint. Right now I'm adjusting my plane. This is a wooden plane that I made, and it does a great job. It's really long, so it makes the board nice and straight. I have to plane these edges until the two boards that are going to make up the bench top mate together perfectly, so that when I glue them together, they'll sit together flat and the glue can hold it just right.
We got full length shavings now. That's good. I mean, this is getting straight. Pretty square, a little high on this side. A little high on this side, all the way down. Alright. Looks pretty good. Nice and straight. Well, glue up just fine, just like that. Alright. One glue surface. So this should clamp together just fine. It's got there's not too many gaps. The ones that are there are really small. I think those will come out when I clamp it. So what I've got to do now, before I glue it up, is I need to level these two benches here. So if those benches are not level with each other, then they will, when I glue that piece up, it'll be twisted. So you got to make sure your surface is nice and level. When I look down here, you see how the bench here in the foreground, the left side is much lower than the other bench. So I got to get it where those two are even, and you just sight this. If you're doing this with a smaller board, you use what's called winding sticks. So all I got to do is just put some pieces of wood or something underneath this left side. That's good. About level as I can eyeball there. So now my two boards will be level when I put them down here. I won't be gluing them into a twist. So normally I like to use hide glue, just a liquid hide glue on most of my glue up projects, because it's easy to use. You use water to clean it up, and it's reversible. But in this case, I do not want it reversible. I don't want this thing coming apart, because I know at some point I'm going to leave this out in the rain. So I'm using this PVA waterproof glue. And you really want to get around the edge really nicely. You want to get right against the edge. And then just kind of get around the middle here. Alright. I'm going to do both. I'm going to do both pieces. Just make sure I get plenty of glue in there. Alright. By the way, this also has a long open time, which means that I have some time to mess around before the glue dries up and gets to the point where I can't use it. So long open times are good when you're gluing up something like this. Now I'm just gonna drop these down like so. Line everything up and kind of let this go back and forth a little bit. And make sure that the edges, glue on them all the way around. That's good. You want to use lots of clamps for this, so you make sure you don't have any gaps in it. And if you have any major gaps, then you can use a stronger clamp, like a pipe clamp. And I might use one of those on the end here, since it does have a bit of a gap over here. But you want to clamp about every foot. And that's exactly what you want to see is you want to see glue squeezing out of the cracks. Alright, so I have this glued up and clamped, and it's ready to go. Oh, got to tighten a couple of these. So I'll leave this overnight and come work on it again tomorrow. And all I've got to do is get the faces planed level. At least just the top one. The bottom one doesn't really matter because it's not going to be resting on anything. It's going to have legs bored into it. But I'll at least do the top and get the edges square and cut the ends off to make them even. Really more for just cosmetic sake than anything. You want your stuff to look good.